The Sixers have had 150 first-round picks in the last 3 years and still need a damn point guard. Kevin Durant can't be quiet, and Paul Pierce says this generation is tender. All that and more in this edition of the NBA Files. Let's ball. And just like that, welcome to another installment of the NBA Files, broadcasting from Gary's Barbershop, 12 East Main Street, Maple Shade, New Jersey. He is Sixers apologist Roy Burton. I'm always Kwame Fisher-Jones. Today's opening tip.
Yes, sir.
Roy has joined me in the desire to trade all relevant Sixers big men in the pursuit of a point guard.
It's not remotely true. Not remotely true.
Well, to say it's no, the Sixers are whispering about getting a point guard. After 15 straight #1 picks, they have failed to fill the void of Maurice Cheeks.
Yes.
What are your thoughts about that?
See, that's the thing. You thought that after the draft and after everything happened, after free agency, you thought we'd be done. You thought the core was
would have
here.
at least hoped.
We thought we'd be done, but no, there's still a little bit more, road that we have to go through to get to the promised land. Okay, you drafted Ben Simmons, you signed a couple guys in the offseason. You thought you had the point guard situation taken care of. Now Ben Simmons is out for an extended period of time. Jared Bayless is probably going to be out for an extended period of time.
Real quickly,
yes.
You're more in touch with the Sixers. You still talk to people there daily. Mm-hmm. What's the deal with Jared Bayless, and what's good? Like, are they looking for a long-term solution point guard or somebody in this draft? I mean, what's good with the specifics about filling the void?
Jared Bayless injured his wrist during training camp.
Another person got hurt playing basketball.
Injured his wrist.
Sixers motto.
Had an MRI. The MRI is a little bit worse than expected. So Jared Bayless is probably going to be out for an extended period of time. I doubt he's available on opening night. So you have no Jared Bayless. You have no Ben Simmons. I think they're looking for a stopgap situation at point guard.
Some more stopgap.
Just maybe like somebody to step in for a year or two at the most at the point guard position. So that's what they're talking about now.
2 questions.
Yes.
This is episode 20. You can go back and count how many times you've said, when talking about a Sixers injury, a little more serious than they initially expected.
We can.
Joel Embiid, a little bit more serious than what we expected. Ben, a little bit more serious. Anybody. So now we add Bayless to the list.
Yes.
Didn't they sign a point guard in the offseason?
Well, they signed a couple. They signed a
so now they need somebody else.
Yeah, I mean, have you seen Sergio Rodriguez?
I watched Sergio play. I'm one of the few geeks that watch EuroLeague basketball. So, I've seen him play. I thought he was a good pickup. I was kind of surprised that he decided to come to Philly. Thought he would go to a Western Conference team.
Right.
But, I'm trying to figure out if they've signed him, what is the stopgap they're looking for, and what do they expect to get back from trading New Orleans, one of their big men.
One of their big men. But the Sergio Rodriguez thing, I think they like Sergio Rodriguez. I don't think they like him to play 30 minutes a night in this situation.
What did they sign him for?
Well, they signed him to he wasn't going to be the starting point guard. That's why they signed Jared Bayless to be the starting point guard. Sergio Rodriguez is a nice offensive-minded guard off the bench. His defense is a little suspect. And ideally, you don't want to start DJ McConnell, which might be the case on opening night. Therefore, they're going to have to go out and sign a guy.
So who are they, realistically, and I'll give my opinions here, but realistically, I wanted to open up with you. I wanted to kind of give the calm before the storm, before I get going.
Right.
What are their realistic options here? Because if you're trading New Orleans for a stopgap point guard, or even a point guard with 2 years left on his deal, you're not realistically getting anything.
Right.
You can't trade Okafor for a marginal player. So what are they facing here? Because the question you posed to me, and what I believe you think they're going to do, is trade one of their bigs. So realistically, what are they going to bring back? What are the options here?
That's the thing. It's like you have to find somebody that no one else wants, or someone on a bad deal. And that's the thing. There's not a lot of options out there. Not a lot of guys you really want to bring into the situation. I mean, again, you can make the calls out to Phoenix again because they have a glut. They have a glut of point guards that they probably. You don't want anybody in Phoenix. You don't want Brandon Knight.
No.
You don't want. I mean, you're probably not going to get Bledsoe, but you don't want Bledsoe.
You're not going to get Brandon Knight. They're not going to give him up.
Well, they have three guards for 2 spots.
Yeah, but they're not going to give. They're not going to give them to you. We're not going to give the game away. Okay. They're not a 5-0. What was it? 501. They're not going to give 504. They're not going to give them away.
Well, you don't. Well, you obviously. I don't think you want Michael Carter Williams.
I would take MCW back, but I think for him and his career, it'd be better to get as far away from Philly as possible.
Probably, yeah.
New Orleans is the same way. Tyus Jones.
Okay.
You know, he's a guy they can get. He had an amazing summer league.
Very, very.
I loved him coming out of Duke. I thought he came out a little early.
Agreed.
But, you know,
Yeah.
I love him at Duke. He's still close to Okafor from what I hear. I don't know how true that is. But we know that they had a lot of success together in college.
Right.
He's an NBA point guard. He
Agreed.
would flourish in the Eastern Conference because he's not, I'm not saying he can't be a transition point guard. I'm not saying he can't be a guy to get up and down the court. But him in a half-court set with space, I think he shot 40-some% in summer league. And you'll love this. What was he, Roy? He was a summer league MVP. Much like your boy Simmons.
First team summer league.
You don't have to give up much for him. Minnesota has Ricky Rubio, another guy I like, just personally, I just like watching him play. But they got Ricky Rubio. They also have
Chris Dunn.
So
I like Tyus Jones. I like him. Is he the guy who can be the starting point guard for you, play 30 minutes a night,
Yes.
D up the opposing team's, better wing defender, better wing player? Because again, you have questions now with Gerald Henderson as well. Who's going to be your lockdown defender?
I said, you know what? Brian Colangelo's got to get rid of everybody. Keep Simmons. The cupboard is bare. You can't build around any of these guys.
Yeah, you said everybody.
You sat here and called me crazy.
I did.
Questioned if I sniffed
do that a lot.
glue. Asked me if my mother was really my father. You just you went in on me. Now you come back less than 7 days later. You just gave me a list of everybody they signed this offseason isn't going to work.
We have questions about him. We have questions.
The questions is the delicate way of saying it ain't going to work.
All right.
So why are you not on board with me just getting rid of everybody?
You gotta see if this works. Again,
You have questions after training camp.
I have questions. That doesn't mean I have answers.
You don't have answers.
I don't have
the answers in the Hall of Fame.
The answer is Tyus Jones.
The answer is not just Tyus Jones.
Okay.
It was a first-round pick, 24th, I think, in that draft. Came off an amazing NCAA Final Four run, which says a lot about what he has that beats in his heart. If you need a point guard,
You need more than that.
you need a lot of things.
Okay.
But you're building your team. Stopgap, that's not going to do anything for you.
Okay.
Stopgap is a waste of time. It's a waste of everyone's time. And you signed stopgaps and they didn't work. Why not go after him? And you won't have to give up much for him. Minnesota doesn't want New Orleans. Oh, I'm sorry. The only one ain't their bigs.
I don't know if they don't.
You think they would take New Orleans?
Because Pekovic is out for the year. So if they're looking for a big, maybe. But again, you got to get more. You got to get more than Tyus Jones for Nerlens Noel.
You think anybody's going to give up more than? What's the offer? What are the offers that we got this summer for him?
Well, they had the Terrence Ross deal with Toronto.
And you had the nice pea coat, the Old Navy pea coat that teams offered, the free oil changes. Basically, you got nothing.
Okay.
So I think they make that move.
I don't know if they do. If they do.
Quickly before break, what are the names you're hearing that they're after?
I just hear the names, it's the random names out there that are available, not necessarily at point guard, but you got your Goran Dragic maybe in Miami, because again, he's unhappy in Miami.
All right, we're going to break. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to Goran Dragic, really? Just signed $1 skillion deal, man. That's the stop.
He doesn't want to be there.
We'll take a quick break. When we come right back, we're going to talk a little bit more Sixers. We're also going to get into why Kevin Durant has diarrhea of the mouth. NBA Fast.
I want to say something really important, but really quick. I'm not going to preach to you, but we did something really special this year. Just show that our generation changed the world. Never happened before. We absolutely changed the world. We changed the world. So it just goes to show anything is possible. Fight for what's right. Fight for what you believe in, and stay forever young.
Welcome back to NBA Files here from Gary's Barbershop, 12 East Main Street, Maple Shade, New Jersey. He is Roy Burton. I'm Kwame Fisher-Jones discussing Sixers. Before we went to break, before we transition to the next topic, I cut you off because you started the conversation with Goran Dragic. I will give you back the mic and let you finish who the Sixers are pursuing or the whispers you're hearing around the Sixers organization.
Just not point guard specifics, but there's the same guys we've been hearing about for weeks and months now. There's the Goran Dragic. There's still the Terrence Ross deal out there. Maybe Ben McLemore is an option if you want a shooter.
I like Ben McLemore.
From the Kings. He's a nice shooter. He's available.
The thought of Goran Dragic in my backcourt makes my tongue itch. Like I can't again. Speaking of guys, you said Dragic is unhappy. Speaking of a guy that has a permanently chip on his shoulder,
Yes.
Russell Westbrook.
Russell Westbrook, yes.
Kevin Durant seems focused on poking the bear here. He made. I don't. In full disclosure, I don't think Durant's comments about the team being selfless or selfless ball there, and
Right.
guys being happy. I don't think that was a dig at OKC.
I agree.
I really don't.
I agree.
But I will say this: he seems to be enamored with his ex. And Russ is about 2 minutes from crazy here.
Right.
He's getting frustrated. He's ready to go, and he's tired of talking about it. I think he called him cute.
He called him cute, so they were very cute comments, Very cute.
How is this good for Golden State? Before we talk Durant specifically, how is this good for your highest paid player
Okay, go ahead.
that you signed in the offseason? Highest paid player to be worried about his ex?
What is the issue for the Warriors at large if Kevin Durant continues to talk about the Thunder? What does it matter that he can't keep the Thunder's name out of his mouth? Why does that matter to the Golden State Warriors? A team that won 73 games last year, who added the best scorer in the league.
Great question.
Why does that matter? Like, what does that have to, like, they're already in the crosshairs of the other 29 teams as it is. It's not more so now. I mean, it may be more so from the standpoint of Russell Westbrook, but he was going to come out guns blazing anyway. So other than Russell Westbrook being upset at Kevin
I
Durant.
think Russell upset. I think he's tired.
Well, what does it matter to the Warriors themselves? Like Steph Curry knows he's probably going to be number 2. Like Klay's number,
They weren't though.
But they are. They are now. As soon as Kevin
now.
Durant signed that deal, they became the villains. They became the ones with the black hat on. They became the villain. And Kevin Durant can say whatever he wants about Russell Westbrook and whoever else with the Thunder. I don't think this changes anything. I don't think it does.
Here's the thing. A wise man once told me women insinuate. Men state their business. Kevin Durant is doing a lot of insinuating right now. That's a bad trait to have.
Okay.
It bothers Golden State because they should be focused here, and they're going all over here. You got Draymond Green running his mouth about get over it, taking shots at a legend. I mean, there would be parades and funerals if Paul Pierce passed away. There might be a 2-second mention of Draymond Green passed away. I mean, seriously, like, Paul Pierce is a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Absolutely.
Cat did it the right way, stuck with his team, and he's right. He didn't chase the ring. Boston was horrible when he was there.
They were horrible. Yep.
He stayed there.
He asked to leave, though. He did ask for a trade. He did ask. You can't play that holier than thou card. Like, oh man, look at me.
Did he
I'm virtuous.
Ask for a trade or
He publicly asked for a trade. He is in print. He publicly asked.
I think it was more if they don't give it together, I want out.
He says, you know what? If they don't want to surround me with the right talent, maybe I shouldn't be here. He said that.
That was a call to arms, though.
But he acts like he's like the paragon of virtue. Like, oh man, I did it the right way.
I don't think he did.
We're
going to talk about that a little bit in the next segment. I don't think he did. I think there's a lot of truth to what he says. There's a lot of truth to this generation is softer than me. It's not a bad truth. It's not a bad thing, but there's a lot of truth to it. And, my father worked hard, so I can be a hard worker.
Right.
And through my hard work, my son now works smarter, not harder. So progression and resources make things easier, and it's going to make you approach things differently. So I have no problem with that. But I have a problem with a second-round pick, a guy who fell into the perfect situation, taking shots at a legend. Paul Pierce is a legend.
Paul Pierce is a legend.
But going back to Durant, it hurts the Warriors because their mind isn't. It's not basketball.
Okay. You don't think they were distracted at all last year, though?
No, I don't.
There's a lot of stuff going on with them.
Towards the end, and it affected them in Game 7.
Okay.
We agreed on that, and I actually stuck out, put my neck on the line, and said that I believe Aisha Curry cost the Warriors the championship because Steph had to have a conversation with his wife, who a lot of people think Steph is going to yell at her. No, I believe he had to sit and listen to her go on a rant about people talking, and it took away from the game.
Right. That's
what it's doing now. And Klay Thompson, people liked Klay Thompson.
They did.
People loved Steph Curry.
They did.
I'm not going to say everybody hates him now, but they ain't not loving him now.
No, not at all. Not at all.
They're playing a villain because of a guy that hasn't gotten it done.
Right. But I'm saying Kevin Durant's specific comments about the Thunder, I don't think add any more fuel to the fire.
You know what's funny? The specific comments weren't bad. It's what has matriculated throughout the world now, because he went from,
Right.
we play selfless here, we move the
whisper
ball
down the
right
lane.
way.
You know how it is.
Yeah, now it's, I ain't like that dude Russell, and he never passed me.
Russell was selfish, and he played iso ball, and it's...
Look, it takes away from the focus, which is to win a title.
Okay.
And I told you before, and I stand by this, the Warriors lose no matter what. And that will come to fruition mid-season, All-Star break, because if they don't win, you had a deal in place. You shouldn't have had in place before the season started. And if they do win, whoop-de-damn-do, you've already done it.
But those comments, I'm telling you right now, the most effect they'll have is on November 3rd at 10:30 p.m. Eastern Time.
Ready.
Get your popcorn ready, folks, because that's when Russ and the gang taking the trip out to the Bay to play Kevin Durant. That's what that means. That's what those comments are worth.
We got a minute left in the segment. I got to ask you a question. It ties into Russell Westbrook. Michael Jordan said Russell Westbrook reminds him of him. He didn't say style of play, he said mentality.
Right.
I believe Russ is in the best situation he could possibly be in. I haven't spoken to anybody. I don't know this firsthand, just my opinion and watching sports for years and how things run in circles. I believe Russell pushed Kevin out. Do you believe Russ pushed him out because he was ready to take the reins, or because he believes Kevin is too soft to win a title?
See, I don't think he pushed him out. I think Russ and Kevin realized that it wasn't going to work with Russ anymore. Now, it might be spinning what you said a different way.
Yeah, it's really what it is.
Spinning what you said a different way, but Kevin woke up one morning and said, you know what? This isn't going to work anymore. This chemistry isn't going to work anymore. I got to move out. And it just wasn't, for whatever reason, whether Russ was ready to take the reins or Kevin was unwilling to give them up. Kevin said, you know what, I can't, this isn't going to work. It's not you, it's me, one of those things.
Now, I honestly believe Russ is ready to win a championship, and Kevin is stopping him. We'll be right back.
Rethink your drink.
Welcome back to the NBA Files. Roy Burton, Kwame Fisher-Jones here from Gary's Barbershop in Maple Shade, New Jersey. We continue the super team conversation, but we're going to go take a trip north to Portland, where Damian Lillard said he's not a fan of the super teams, not a fan of guys linking up in order to get a championship. Now, of course, we've heard similar words from Kevin Durant 6 years ago when he was upset on Twitter, because that's how young guys communicate now, back when Miami did their thing. So let me ask you, is Damian Lillard, where are these comments coming from? Is he speaking from a place of truth and honesty, or is this just a young guy just kind of saying things, not yet, cognizant of the way the NBA works these days?
No, I think he's speaking from truth and honesty, a little bit of jealousy. And I don't think it's a jealousy where it's a malice, I think it's a jealousy of, I'm tired of hearing about this dude. And I'm going to plug myself here. I said years ago, Kevin Durant was not this dude. When I was a writer for Bleacher Report, I said he was not this dude everyone was talking him out to be. And he'll be another guy that scores a lot of points but never wins a title. Because he didn't have that factor, that necessary dog in you to lead a team.
Right.
That Russell Westbrook has. And we saw that dog rear his head this week when Russ said he was cute.
Right.
We saw another cat who stuck it out, even though you want to say he asked for a trade, but I believe he called management on the carpet, which is what your malcontent leaders do. And Paul Pierce. We're hearing champions, current champions, and guys who are carrying teams question Durant, and not through Twitter, like you like to take shots at me and say that's grandpa, that's how the young guys communicate.
That's how they communicate.
But a thing that social media allows you to do is it allows you to remove from the clapback. You can throw a comment out there, turn your phone, and walk away.
Yeah.
That's what Durant did. Why? He's not built for the clapback. He likes to make secret songs and little diss tracks.
That's right.
Who shot you instead of I shot you.
Right.
That's Durant's mindset. That's why he went. Durant is the guy that runs and gets people. Russ is the guy you run to go get.
Right.
Lillard's the guy you run to go get.
Right.
Pierce, Garnett, run and go get. So I sit back and I'm watching this unfold, and it's funny because you saw this in Durant early. And now he ran to, which he did, he ran to another guy you go get in Klay Thompson.
Right.
I said it once, I'm saying it again. Klay ain't gonna back down. And Draymond Green, for all his bravado, and Draymond's a good dude, you can't defend this guy. You can't.
You have to, though. You have to. That's the guy in the foxhole with you now. That's the guy you ride with.
The foxhole's already got one of them 6'11" legs sticking out of that foxhole.
You got to defend your squad, though. You have to.
How much credence do you give, though, that the bigger issue, that the premise that this generation isn't as tough as the prior generation, aren't as competitive, or whatever adjective you want. How much credence do you give to that?
I think it's true. I think it's absolutely true.
I agree with you. I agree with you.
Because here's the thing. I mean, like, players now, I mean, they've been coddled since, like, the age of 7.
That's where we differ.
And 8. No, they have been, though. You don't think they've been coddled since the age of 7 and 8?
I'm sorry, grandfather. I have running water in my house.
No.
I don't need to carry the bucket 17 hills. So I'm a little softer. My shoulders aren't that big. I don't think they've been coddled.
You don't think they've been coddled? You don't think they've been protected since 8 and 9 years old? These guys have been handed stuff, handed spots on AAU teams, handed spots on travel teams. You haven't had to deal with coaches and like guys. Again, I hate to be that guy, but coaches they had to deal with guys from our generation different than the coaches that deal with the guys now. It's different.
This question to you.
It's different.
In the 80s, Charles Barkley was getting money under his doorstep.
Okay.
Buckets of cash. Those dudes weren't coddled. Durant wasn't
to
getting
the level like this.
Maybe
these guys have teams at the age of 14.
Yeah, but you know what?
Marketing and branding and all this other stuff. Like when they're in middle school.
Players in college back in the day though had, Len Bias had women coming at them in like droves. They didn't have to deal with the scrutiny that the other guys. They didn't have Twitter and Facebook and social. The obstacles were different, but I don't think they made them softer per se. I think that they don't have the same muscles that maybe the 80s had, but damn it, Jordan wasn't as tough as Russell.
These guys now haven't been told no since they were in middle school.
Some have,
and you know this.
No,
you know
Lillard
this.
was told no. Where you go to Weber State?
You went to Weber. Like, I'm not talking about just Damian Lillard specifically, but look at these other. Like, these guys haven't been told no.
Some of them
for
haven't,
years,
but some have. I think the road for a lot of them is traveled differently, but it's still just as long as a road. And it bothers me when they say these guys don't have it as tough, because quite frankly, no one had it tougher than Oscar Robertson and Bill Russell.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
From the sneakers that they wore with no cushion to having to sleep on benches.
Sleep on buses and,
you know what I mean? So to say that they're not as tough, no, they're not, because they haven't had to go through the hell that you had to go through, but they go through a different hell. Look, there's credence to it, but I think that certain guys, but I don't think it's the whole generation.
You don't think a blanket statement saying this generation isn't as tough as previous generations.
Exactly.
But you line these guys up. You line the best 20 guys now up against the best 20 guys 20 years ago, and those older guys are tougher, man. It is what it is.
You got to be tough to wear what Russell wears on camera. We'll be right back.
If you suspect it, report it. Packages left unattended, people who seem out of place, any suspicious activity. Our most effective weapon against terrorism is you. Call 1-866-4-SAFE-NJ.
Breast Cancer Network of Strength invites you to join the Walk to Empower.
We need that support. It's a lot of love.
Come join us on Mother's Day. Thank you.
Welcome back to the NBA Files. Roy Burton, Kwame Fisher-Jones here for the final segment of this week's show. And we're going to take a spin back to the collective bargaining agreement. Now, there's reports that the NBA and the Players Association are very close in agreement. Probably is going to happen before the end of the calendar year.
Credit LeBron.
Credit LeBron James, because he also got the NBA to fix its website, which is also broken.
I love that dude.
He's a great dude.
I love that guy.
Here's the thing about the NBA, and again, like having this agreement in place before another possible work stoppage or lockout is huge. But there's a couple hurdles that need to be addressed before we kind of get into this next year's agreement. What do you think needs to happen as far as the age limit in the NBA? Because again, there's still a little bit of a sticking point being whether or not these players should be eligible to come out after 1 year, 2 years, straight out of high school. What are your thoughts on that?
I think it should be not only an age limit, but a college limit.
Okay.
You either have to play 3 years of college or be 21 years old.
Okay.
Period. Look, for every LeBron James is a Taj McDavid. For every, Tracy McGrady and Kobe Bryant and Kevin Garnett, there are guys that work at Walmart.
Right.
And it's easy to build off the exception, but you have to be cognizant of the rule and the norm. And the norm is most dudes can't do this. And it's better for the product if you have older men available to play. It's better. It's just better. Guys that can go into bars and not have to worry about being caught illegally drinking.
Right.
Guys that can be around their peers and understand what it's like to be the focal point from day one. I'm not a fan of watching good young men falter from bad situations like what happened to Jahlil Okafor.
But saying that they have to be at least 21 or 3 years in college, that's restraining trade. And we don't do that, or it's not done that way in hockey. It's not done that way in baseball. It's not done that way in plenty of other individual sports mostly. Why would the NBA agree to restrain trade, restrain the ability of their members, the Players Association, to restrain the ability of their members to make money at 19 as opposed to 21?
When you say that, I thought about that scene in Coming to America. This is America, Jack.
Exactly.
Look, I'm gonna be 100% honest with you, and I'm gonna catch a lot of flack from this because you're dealing with young black men. Period. You're dealing with young black men. The obstacles that you have, that hockey players face, are not the obstacles that young black men face. And you're dealing, not all of them come from broken homes,
Right.
not all of them come from poor educations. All of those things are true, but the majority of them are young black men, and society treats them differently. So they need to be better equipped to handle that. And that will come from the structure of college. It may not happen their freshman year,
Right.
because they're partying and doing a lot of things. But when they know they have to go back, when they know they have to keep their grades right, when they know they have to do all the things, get good marks, be good citizen, they'll do those things. That's why.
But if I'm LeBron James and Chris Paul and the guys who run the Players Association, why am I allowing the NBA to, again, restrict the ability of my members to make money? But I'm basically saying, like, you know what, you guys aren't ready to make money yet. It's going to take you 2 years longer to get your second and third contract with the NBA. Like, why would I allow that to happen?
That's a great question. Unfortunately, we pushed against it. The final buzzer has sounded. There is no overtime.
You weaseled your way out of another one.
He's Roy Burton. I'm always Kwame Fisher-Jones here from Gary's Barbershop, 12 East Main Street, Maple Shade, New Jersey. Reminding you, as always, while there's no I in team, there's 2 I's in championship. Until next week, you be easy.